Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So happy Friday, everybody. Hope you guys have all had a great week. If you wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. Yep, Bitcoin on 4 hour. A a nice little trappy Bitcoin trap here. We had a wick down and then flew basically all the way up to our upper level of resistance, hitting the lofty heights of over 41,000, from hitting the lows of very low 37,000. So a pretty big move there. Obviously this was spurred on by Ethereum. Ethereum moved first, and then Bitcoin decided it wanted to play catch up. But yeah, as it stands, a nice little pump up, but still sat under this resistance. So obviously this has been a macro level of resistance, an important level of resistance. We kind of do have to entertain the idea that we are going to get rejected and come back down to around, well, first the $38,000 level. Obviously if we hold there, then continue within this range, or failing that, if we fail that level down to 36,000. Obviously the flip side is we do break above, but at the moment you can see we're clearly under this resistance. Having what you could possibly say was just a news driven, Ethereum driven pump, and those are often are faded. So yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. It is the weekend also though. It is the weekend, so yeah, maybe they decide to push us above 42,000 in weekend more liquid markets, trap some longs in, generate some liquidity, and then we come back down. That is always a possibility. But yeah, I always have that reversion to mean theory for weekend price action, and then yeah, we could very easily just stay within this range, maybe come down to $38,000, and then just basically trade within this little range we're in. If we go and have a look at the Ethereum Satoshi pair, you can see we did have a very nice break through a macro level, wicked all the way up to our trend line we've got on here, not far off our next level of resistance, but didn't quite make it. But that was obviously the point that Bitcoin then decided to play catch up, and then yeah, as you can see, we have subsequently now found ourselves back at this, basically back in this old resistance, new support. But it is looking a little bit weak here. If we do start closing below here, and especially if we get as low as, well, below the highs of these wicks here, we could probably expect us to come back and test this 0.064 level. This is kind of looking at present like a sort of swing failure above, unless obviously we do get picked up and turn back up and get back above. I mean, realistically, we'll call it 0.069, get back above there, and then yeah, we could obviously maintain up here. But yeah, potentially looking like we do want to back test this a little bit, test the resolve of those Ethereum bulls. We have got a bit of a battle. We obviously got the battle between this support in the price, and obviously in the USD, not obviously, I say obviously a lot, but in the USD pairing, this resisting price. And as you can see in the USD pairing, this is a very important level. It's kind of like Bitcoin and Ethereum, relative value wise, have caught up to their important levels, so now they're coinciding at around about the same time. We've got this obviously important level for Ethereum, which kind of matches up with this important level for Bitcoin now. So yeah, so fiat value wise, we have got resistance. I mean, like I keep saying, I don't potentially expect us to have moved all the way from bottom to top and then break above and continue upside. Similarly with Bitcoin, move from bottom to top and then continue up and break upside. But we are doing a fairly decent job at consolidating at these highs at present. But yeah, the longer we do stay up here and don't break, the higher the likelihood is then that we then come and test some downside if we aren't going to test the upside. So yeah, keep an eye. Yeah, so obviously we've got to keep an eye on that. But yeah, things could definitely get interesting. Lots of interesting hype and excitement around Ethereum. Understandably around Ethereum, Bitcoin dominance as well. Obviously came down with the initial move and then spiked back up when Bitcoin caught up. So yeah, we've got this. We'll just extend this horizontal area across. We are back above this now, so that is potentially indicating we could test some more upside. So, and obviously that would be well, especially for the Ethereum pairing, because this is the biggest one of this. Could then obviously, yeah, we could then test down to potentially around this lower level. Stock markets closing on a nice high here, so nothing really of note to see there. 10-year trying to not keep coming down, but you can see it's got a pretty obvious trend line here. Get back above this though, we could potentially start to see some upward price action, in the yield. So it will be actually downward price action. This is the yield, but yeah, we could see some upward yield action. DXY still operating in this resistance. So is it going to get resisted here and come down and then take this horizontal out, or is it going to actually find its way back above? We call it 92.5, at which point we will just be looking for price action within this level range, with a view that we have a slightly higher likelihood of taking out this upper level then, rather than this rather than this level down here. So yeah, that could come into play depending on what happens in this range here. Just a quick look at gold. Gold just basically trading sideways, struggling much. I mean, this is an important level, 1840. Get above here, then we can see acceleration. But we have getting rejected quite a bit, so we'll just draw the 1840 level in. So yeah, get above there, we can see potential upside. I'll maybe increase the size of that line. It's quite an important line, quite an important level. Maybe I won't. Oh, here it is. Is that it? Is this it? This is it. Yes, there we go. Important level for gold. Get above here, then yeah, I think we can see some acceleration. I mean, this looks similar to the Bitcoin chart and the Ethereum chart. This is its level it wants to get above. Obviously, you can see it is underperforming relative to if you wanted to kind of look at this the same as the Bitcoin and Ethereum chart, because they're at this level. Gold is not. Yes. Let's finally have a look at the stochastics. 4 hour looking good, pointing up and looking good here. Obviously with price action is moving up at the moment, so it's kind of to be expected. The 10 hour, maybe this has turned back up now. Wait a minute, I think it had turned back up, hadn't it? Yeah, 10 hour had turned back up. This is obviously helping price action here. 12 hour also turned back. Daily was the one that was diving, but I suspect it's looking to turn back up. Yeah, looking to turn back up, hasn't as of yet. So if this does turn around, then, well, we've got a good, we will have a good chance. I say a good chance. We'll have a chance of breaking above 42,000, but we could see similar like we saw in that Ethereum Satoshi pairing, where we do kind of get above and then get slammed back down again. But at the very least, a good shot holding above this, holding in this upper quartile for a bit longer, especially if daily does turn up. I mean, yeah, and obviously with that daily time frame being a pretty juicy one. In culmination with these other ones also, although 2-day getting a bit extended, but the 3-day, the 5-day, and the weekly turning back up as well. I mean, yeah, this is certainly not a zero probability chance that we get above, we get into the next level, and we do have basically set ourselves a new range for Bitcoin. Maybe you can squint and see an inverted head and shoulder. That's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? But yeah, you can see we had a lot of price action in the top half, and then a lot of price action in the lower half, and then if you have a bit of price action in the upper half, then yeah, I mean that is in theory a head and shoulders, but this is a very clutching at straws thing here. But either way, I mean, it's not as important as just looking at the fact this important overhead resistance, break that, and then we will be looking to establish a new range. We would obviously all hope this becomes the low of the range, and then who knows where the high is. I mean, good candidates are 50,000, 52,000, and potentially even all the way up to 58,000, which would be pretty wild, but is no less a larger range than what we're currently in at the moment. So why not? Other than that, I mean, I know I slate this chart quite a bit, and obviously it is struggling. It is clearly struggling against Ethereum. But yeah, there's maybe some good things coming. Maybe they may be pushing forwards with some things over at Wise. So potentially we can see some life brought back into this. And obviously with it just being constant dumpage, obviously versus ETH, any sort of life in this asset could get it moving, pretty quickly. So yes, things are happening. So that was a good thing about locking things up in stakes. It just forces you just to hold on, hold and ride it out. So we shall see what happens. Yeah, other than that, that is all I really have to say. There won't be a video tomorrow morning because I will be out and about. So yeah. But other than that, not much else to say. Thank you for listening, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I will say things are getting a bit more exciting in the Telegram chat. There are more things going on. It's like the crypto market is, the altcoin, the DGen market is sparking to life a little bit. There is more going on now. And it is getting a little bit more exciting. So maybe we are showing green shoots of recovery. After obviously a pretty, I mean, the move down in Bitcoin has been obviously big, but the move down in some altcoins has been like, some of them are down, some of them are down like 90%, still around 80-90% down, some of them. But yeah, if we are seeing signs of life, we could start to see some big moves in some of these altcoins. And yeah, there's a lot of that getting talked about in the chat now. People are getting a lot more involved. So yeah, there we go. Thanks for listening, guys, and I shall speak to you guys Sunday.